Imagine this. It is your very first day at a new job in a busy office in New York. Your new boss walks up to you, smiles warmly, and says, "I'm so glad you're here. We are all in the same boat."
And you look around the room. You see desks, you see computers, you see chairs, but you definitely do not see a boat. No water, no sails, and definitely no life jackets.
Exactly. You might feel very confused. You might think, is the building flooding? Why are we on a boat?
That, my friends, is the power and the danger of an idiom. And today, here on our YouTube channel, we are going to help you survive those confusing moments.
Hello, everyone. I'm Anna, and I am so excited to be here with you today.
And I'm Eric. We know that learning English is a huge journey. Sometimes the hardest part isn't the grammar, it's the strange phrases people use every day.
Today's episode is all about idioms for daily survival and cultural metaphors.
But wait, Anna, before we start our first list, I have to tell the listeners something important. Later in this show, I'm going to share a story about a social disaster I had because I used an animal idiom incorrectly in a fancy restaurant. It was very embarrassing.
Oh no, Eric. I remember that story. It was a total nightmare.
It really was. So, if you want to avoid making the same mistake I did, make sure you stay with us until the end of the episode. We're also going to give you a survival challenge at the very end to see if you can use these words in real life.
That's right. Don't go anywhere. Now, let's start with the basics. Eric, you mentioned that word, idiom. Let's explain it slowly for our new friends.
Good idea. An idiom, I-D-I-O-M, is a group of words that has a secret meaning. If you translate the words one by one, it won't help you. You have to learn the whole phrase as one single idea.
And a metaphor, M-E-T-A-F-O-R, is when we describe something by comparing it to something else. Like saying, life is a highway. It means life is a long journey that moves fast.
Exactly. Now, let's go back to that first one. In the same boat. Anna, if the boss says we are in the same boat, what does he really mean?
He means we are all in the same situation. Usually it means we are all facing the same problem together. So if the office is very busy and everyone is stressed, we are all in the same boat. We have to work together to succeed.
I like that. It makes me feel like I'm part of a team. Let's try another one for survival. This one is for when you don't feel 100% healthy. You call your friend and say, "I'm feeling under the weather."
Under the weather. Let's say that slowly together. Under the weather. Eric, does it mean I am standing outside in the rain?
It sounds like it, but no. It simply means you feel a little bit sick. Maybe you have a cold or a headache. You aren't dying, but you feel off.
So if I have a small flu, I can say, I'm under the weather.
Precisely. Now, let's talk about when things are easy. I love this one because I love dessert. People say, "That's a piece of cake."
I wish people actually gave me cake. But when my teacher gives me a very easy test and I finish it in 2 minutes, I say, that test was a piece of cake.
It means it was very simple to do. No effort required. Anna, what about when you want someone to stop talking and get to the point?
Oh, I use this one with my brother all the time. I tell him to cut to the chase.
To cut to the chase? What is a chase?
A chase is when someone is running after someone else, like an action movie. Usually the chase is the most exciting part. So when we say cut to the chase, we mean stop telling me the boring parts and tell me the most important part of the story now.
That's very useful in a business meeting. If someone is talking for 20 minutes about the weather, you can politely say, "Let's cut to the chase and talk about the budget."
Exactly. Now, Eric, sometimes I try to learn 500 words in one day. Then I feel like I'm going crazy. My brain hurts.
That's because you are biting off more than you can chew.
Biting off more than I can chew? That sounds like I have too much food in my mouth.
That is exactly where the phrase comes from. If you put a whole giant sandwich in your mouth, you can't chew it. You can't swallow it. It's too much. In life, if you take a job that's too big or a task that's too hard, you bite off more than you can chew.
I see. So it's better to do small things well than to bite off more than I can chew. That is a great survival tip.
Now, Let's move into something very common in English-speaking cultures. We call them cultural metaphors.
This is where it gets tricky. I hear people at work using sports words, but we aren't at a stadium.
That's right. In the US and the UK, people use sports metaphors to talk about business and daily life. For example, have you heard the phrase touch base?
Touch base. I know base is from baseball. Does it mean I need to go to a park?
No, no. In business, touching base just means to briefly talk to someone to get an update. It's a quick check-in, like, hey, let's touch base on Monday to see how the project is going.
Oh, it's like a quick hello, how was the work?
Exactly. Here's another baseball one. A ballpark figure.
A ballpark, like a stadium, and a figure means a number?
You got it. If you're inside the ballpark, you're close to the game. So a ballpark figure is a rough estimate or a guess that's close to the real number.
So if I ask you, how much is a new laptop, and you don't know the exact price, you could say, I don't know exactly, but a ballpark figure is $1,000.
Perfect. It's not a perfect number, but it's in the right area. Now, Anna, what happens if something changes a situation completely?
We call that a game changer.
Yes, a game changer. This also comes from sports. Imagine a game where one team is winning, but then a new player joins and completely changes the score. It changes the whole game.
So for English learners, maybe finding this podcast is a game changer for their vocabulary.
We hope so. Now, let's talk about fairness. At work, we want things to be fair. We call this a level playing field.
A level playing field. A field is where you play soccer. Level means flat, not a hill.
Right. If one team has to run up a hill and the other team runs down a hill, the game is not fair. So, a level playing field means a situation where everyone has the same opportunity to succeed.
I love that. We want everyone learning English to have a level playing field.
Speaking of success, Anna, I'm getting a little hungry. Let's talk about food metaphors. Food is a huge part of culture, so we use it to talk about money and life.
I know a very common one for money. To bring home the bacon.
I love bacon. But in this idiom, bacon means a money or a salary.
So if I have a job and I earn money to pay for my house and my food, I am bringing home the bacon.
You are. It means you are the person who supports the family financially.
What about when things are a little bit difficult? My friend said, Anna, I am in a pickle. I looked at our lunch, but I didn't see any pickles.
That's a funny one. In a pickle means you are in a difficult or messy situation. It's a small problem, but it's annoying. Like if you realize you forgot your wallet at home after you already ordered your coffee.
Oh, I hate that. I am definitely in a pickle then.
And when someone tells you a story that sounds too good to be true, you should take it with a grain of salt.
A grain of salt. Salt is so tiny.
Yes. If you take something with a grain of salt, it means you do not believe it 100%. You're being careful because it might be an exaggeration or a lie.
So, if a man tells me he can fly a plane, but he has never seen one, I should take his story with a grain of salt.
Exactly. Be a little bit skeptical.
Okay, Eric. We are getting close to the end. It's time for my favorite part, the animal idioms. But first, are you going to tell us that story you promised at the beginning?
Okay. I'll let the cat out of the bag.
Wait. Let the cat out of the bag? That's our first animal idiom.
It is. It means to tell a secret. Years ago, I was at a very fancy dinner with a potential boss. I wanted to impress him. I wanted to say that I was working very hard, but I got my idioms mixed up.
What did you say?
Instead of saying that I was working like a dog, which means working very hard, I told him his wife looked like a dog.
Oh, no. In English, calling someone a dog is a very mean way to say they are unattractive.
I know. I was trying to use a survival idiom, but I made a huge mistake. The room went silent. It was the elephant in the room.
The elephant in the room. That's our next one.
Yes. An elephant is huge. If an elephant was in your living room, you couldn't ignore it. But the elephant in the room is a big problem that everyone knows is there, but everyone is too embarrassed or nervous to talk about.
Like your mistake at the dinner.
Exactly. Nobody said anything, but everyone was thinking about it. I felt so small.
Well, Eric, at least you learned a lesson, and you helped our listeners. You killed two birds with one stone.
To kill two birds with one stone, this is a great one to end on. It means to finish two tasks with only one action. I told a funny story, and I taught an idiom.
See? You are an expert after all.
Well, friends, we have covered a lot of ground today. We talked about survival, sports, food, and animals.
I hope these phrases help you feel more confident when you are speaking English at work or with friends.
And remember, don't try to learn them all at once. Pick one or two and try to use them tomorrow.
Thank you so much for listening to our channel. We are so proud of your progress.
If you enjoyed this, please subscribe and leave us a comment telling us your favorite idiom.
Keep practicing, stay curious, and remember, you're doing great.
Until next time, break a leg.
Bye, everyone.